Happy Monday, everyone. This is Martha with Nature Niche, and this week I thought it might be fun to feature some results participating in the Great Backyard Bird Count. If you are watching this on Monday, you have until midnight tonight to submit your birding observations and have that data count towards the four-day count. So if you want to learn more in general about the Great Backyard Bird Count, you can check out Monday with Martha number 38. And last week, post number 91, I talked about how you can use eBird to do a birding checklist and submit your data that way. And then this week, I'll try to share using the Merlin app. And so there are over 80,000 bird enthusiasts participating. This was from Cornell Lab of Ornithology's halftime report, so as of late Saturday, very early Sunday morning. And they are reporting from over 173 countries. They are doing sightings in the Cornell Lab's Merlin app, and also any checklists made in eBird that are over 15 minutes in length. The data will count towards the bird count. And there multiple reports from the same location are fine, so if you've already entered data, you can surely do it again through end of the day on Monday, or different locations. They love whatever information you can share as you observe birds over this 4-day period. You have a chance to win binoculars doing those data entries, so that might be a fun reason to do that. And you can share your bird and photos of people birding on that Great Backyard Bird Count website. Happy birding.
So I promised a demonstration of Cornell Lab of Ornithology's Merlin app. I really, in my hike out at Chippewa Nature Center today, didn't really have a chance to use it. Didn't see anything I didn't recognize, but I did want to show you. Here's the website, and where you can go to download this particular application. It's so handy, and I recommend it all the time to customers in my store, especially if you're just getting into birding, or even if you're more advanced. It can be a really helpful resource in the field. So the app is available for both iPhone and Android, and it basically operates on bird packs, like a regional set of birds. So the app will need to know where you are and the date, and based on that information, it asks you a series of questions to help get to a short list of potential birds that you could be observing. So it asks for the general size of the bird compared to some standard things like sparrows and robins, crows, or a goose. It asks about the main colors, and you can choose up to 3 that you're seeing on your mystery bird. And then it asks about its behavior. What was it doing? Was it at a feeder, on the ground, or up in the trees? So some basic questions. Also, I think fairly new to the app, it'll let you record a sound and try to help you identify bird song. So birding by ear is definitely something I'm working on, and I'm excited to keep using this app to help improve my auditory birding skills. And then it'll also let you submit a photo if you get a decent photo of your bird of mystery, and it can try to identify from that. And if you look at the short list and you find what you were looking at, you're sure of the ID, you can then submit it. It'll add it to your life list, and through Monday this year, it will submit that data as part of the Great Backyard Bird Count. So using Merlin to ID during those 4 days and submitting your result also adds data to the global database of the folks birding right now. So I just wanted to point that out. They have a nice video too on YouTube of using the app, but this is definitely a handy tool, something fairly easy to use in the field as you do your bird watching. So I wanted to share some of my 2022 Great Backyard Bird Count results. I surveyed at the feeding station at my own home on the first day, the morning of the first day of the count. I observed 16 species and 42 individuals total. I used eBird to enter my data, and I did that using the phone app. I graduated from my old school pen and paper and did it directly on my iPhone, and it was really easy. So I encourage you guys to try the eBird app if you haven't already. But saw really nice diversity of woodpeckers, lots of woodpecker activity that morning, and then my goldfinches and pine siskins and cardinals. So lots of fun species. I'll show you a few video clips of that next. And here are some of the fun songbirds in my backyard, a female cardinal and several American goldfinches, and pine siskins are the stripier looking little finches there. So they're eating away at sunflower chips and Martha's Midland Songbird mix and sunflower hearts and peanuts. And this is a red-bellied woodpecker with some suet and a female hairy woodpecker on one of my maple trees. You can tell it's a hairy. The bill length is over half the width of the head, and I like to scale them against a suet cake. They're a little bit taller than standard size suet cake. There is a male hairy woodpecker. You can see his little red cap at the back of his skull with a blue jay in the distance, and that was a pine siskin, in the foreground there. But there's a good example of why you keep snags if it's safe to do so on your property. That's, I think, a dead oak snag that the woodpeckers like. There's the male hairy woodpecker again, working on some Martha's mix alongside American goldfinches. I think he's trying to sort out the peanut splits. And a little black-capped chickadee there. A white-breasted nuthatch. They come for the peanuts and enjoy the suet that I have out. This was odd to have the American goldfinch work on the suet too a little bit. I don't see that very often. That was a downy woodpecker next to a hairy woodpecker for a size comparison, but this is a little male downy woodpecker, so they have the shorter bill and are about the same size or a little shorter than a suet cake. A tufted titmouse, the little gray bird there with the buffy sides. They don't hold still very long. They are hard to film and to count. They come and go. And last but certainly not least, these beautiful eastern bluebirds, a very welcome sight on this sunny winter morning. They are working on dried mealworms and suet nuggets and a seed cylinder or seed log with sunflower hearts and dried mealworms as well. And here's the birding list, again using the eBird app on my phone that I did for the third day of the Great Backyard Bird Count. I took a nice walk out at a local nature center, Chippewa Nature Center, here in Midland, Michigan. And well, I didn't see a lot of species. It was nice in the 40s, but pretty windy. I did hear and see in the distance a red-tailed hawk, heard a downy woodpecker and a blue jay, saw a few American crows flying around, and got visited by several black-capped chickadees along the trail. So you can see the app tracked where I was walking, how long I was out there, and the distance that I walked, and all that data gets factored in as Cornell Lab of Ornithology uses this as part of the Great Backyard Bird Count. And here is one of the cute little black-capped chickadees that visited me along the trail. They're very curious little birds. They'll often come down out of the treetops to check out hikers. And this one was working, that's a group of tag alder, Alnus rugosa, and I think it was working on one of the woody female, they look like cones, but they're actually catkins, and he or she is working on loosening some seeds out of the catkin. So I hope that was helpful, seeing the eBird app again, and then the Merlin app as well. Great resources as you get outside to participate in the last day of the 2022 Great Backyard Bird Count. I encourage you all, whether it's watching out your windows in your own backyard or going to a local nature center or park, get out there, observe the birds, and share your data with the world. Take care and have a good week.